Welcome. We bring you Japan's latest news every day. AI sums up what matters, so you can stay informed in English in just a few minutes. If you find it helpful, please like and subscribe. Wild boar injures 4 people in Toyota city center, later captured. On the morning of the 13th, there were multiple incidents involving a wild boar in the downtown area of Toyota City in Aichi Prefecture. The animal attacked people at several locations, leaving a total of 4 people injured. Following a search operation by police and relevant agencies, the boar was successfully captured. Toyota City is now calling on residents to exercise caution, advising them not to approach or provoke wild boars if spotted. When encountering wildlife, protecting yourself is the top priority. If you notice anything unusual, please contact the police or local authorities immediately. Japan Academy Prize ceremony held with His Majesty the Emperor in attendance. The Japan Academy Prize ceremony was held in Tokyo today with His Majesty the Emperor in attendance. His Majesty arrived at the Japan Academy Hall in Ueno, Tokyo at approximately 10:30 a.m. The Japan Academy Prize is a prestigious award presented to researchers who have made outstanding contributions to academic fields and have significantly advanced scholarship in Japan. This year, researchers working at the forefront of academia received the honor of the award. With His Majesty's presence at the ceremony, it demonstrated the nation's expectations and encouragement for academic research and scholarly pursuits. 4 injured in knife attack in Saiki, Oita, 44-year-old man arrested. A stabbing incident occurred in Saiki City, Oita Prefecture on the morning of the 13th. 4 people were injured after being stabbed with a kitchen knife at a parking lot of a commercial facility in the city. According to police, all 4 injured individuals are in stable condition with no life-threatening injuries. Police arrested a 44-year-old man near the scene of the incident on suspicion of possessing a knife. Authorities are continuing their investigation into the man's possible involvement in the case, as well as examining the circumstances and motive behind the attack. Science and Technology Innovation White Paper aims to translate basic research findings into social implementation. This year's Science and Technology Innovation White Paper was approved at a cabinet meeting. The white paper emphasizes the value of basic research to society by citing the examples of 2 Japanese researchers who won the Nobel Prize last year. A key challenge has been that the results of basic research have not been quickly put to practical use. The white paper points out the importance of social implementation, that is, directly linking research outcomes to the solution of social issues. Going forward, Japan must leverage insights gained from basic research to address various challenges it faces, including an aging population and energy issues, and translate these into actual improvements in society. The government intends to focus efforts on building a framework to support such initiatives. Large collection of ancient documents from late Heian period discovered inside Buddhist statue, including references to Minamoto no Yoshinaka. A large quantity of ancient documents from the late Heian period has been discovered inside a wooden statue of Amida Buddha, designated as an important cultural property of Japan and housed at a temple in Osaka. The documents contain descriptions of social upheaval during the Genpei War period as well as references to the military commander Minamoto no Yoshinaka. Experts point out that such a large-scale discovery of documents from this era is extremely rare and holds significant value for historical research. The discovery of documents inside the Buddhist statue is believed to reflect the practice of the time, when people preserved important records by placing them inside statues. As investigation of these documents progresses, it is expected that more detailed information about the Genpei War period may come to light. JAXA's reusable rocket experimental vehicle successfully completes flight and landing test. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA, conducted a flight test of its reusable rocket experimental vehicle on the 11th in Noshiro City, Akita Prefecture. The experimental vehicle flew normally, ascending to a height of approximately 11 meters before successfully landing as planned. Unlike conventional expendable rockets, reusable rockets are expected to serve as next-generation vehicles capable of handling multiple launches. This test result represents significant progress toward JAXA's development goals. The agency plans to continue with ongoing testing to verify and improve the technology moving forward. Bill to establish new disaster prevention agency passes Upper House with majority support. A bill to establish a disaster prevention agency that will serve as the command center for disaster management has passed in today's Upper House plenary session with majority support. Under this legislation, a new disaster prevention agency will be established within the cabinet. The agency will play a central role in smoothly and swiftly promoting disaster prevention measures and policies. Given the succession of large-scale natural disasters occurring across the country in recent years, the government determined that strengthening the disaster prevention system was an urgent priority. The new Disaster Prevention Agency will enhance coordination among relevant ministries and agencies, establishing a unified system to respond comprehensively to disasters from prevention through recovery. Going forward, relevant departments are expected to continue deliberations on the detailed organizational structure and specific operational procedures. Law to combat misinformation on social media during elections passes Upper House. A law strengthening measures against misinformation on social media during election periods was passed and enacted at today's session of the House of Councilors. The legislation requires operators of social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter to take measures to reduce the spread of false information that could undermine the fairness of elections. Specifically, it calls for actions such as adding disclaimers or removing content that contradicts the facts. The law was enacted based on the recognition that ensuring transparency and credibility in elections is crucial in modern society where digitalization is advancing. The legislation is scheduled to take effect in March of next year, and information environments on social media in future election campaigns will be managed more appropriately. Deputy Capital Bill. Democratic Party claims Osaka-focused approach. LDP says government to review requirements. A special committee in the House of Representatives held questioning on related bills concerning the deputy capital concept. The Democratic Party for the People pointed out that the bill appears to be predicated on Osaka, but the Liberal Democratic Party indicated that while it envisions regions with a certain population scale, the government will review specific requirements going forward. As the realization of a deputy capital moves ahead, what regions will qualify and what criteria will be applied are expected to become the focal points of future debate. Mitsubishi UFJ stock price rises to top market capitalization in Japan on rising long-term interest rates. On the Tokyo Stock Exchange on the 13th, shares of Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group rose, pushing its market capitalization above that of Toyota Motor Corporation to become the largest in Japan. The rise in bank stocks is attributed to increasing long-term interest rates. As interest rates climb, banks' lending rates also rise, which is expected to widen profit margins and improve profitability. Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group is receiving strong investor buying interest, backed by market appreciation for its business expansion both domestically and internationally, as well as its efforts to improve operational efficiency. Future movements in financial markets and corporate earnings announcements have the potential to significantly impact stock prices. Stock prices plunge over 1,900 yen as concerns grow over Iran situation. The Tokyo stock market fell sharply on Monday, the 13th. The Nikkei average stock price dropped over 1,900 yen at one point. Sell orders concentrated on AI and semiconductor-related stocks, and their decline accelerated the overall market downturn. Behind this is the escalating situation in Iran. The heightened geopolitical risks in the Middle East have intensified investor caution, prompting a broad pullback of funds from stocks, which are considered risk assets. Market participants are closely monitoring developments in the international situation, and analysts believe that as long as uncertainty persists, market volatility is likely to continue. Morning Business Report, July 13, Monday. Intensifying competition in convenience store apparel sales. Apparel sales at convenience store chains are heating up. Major convenience store operators are successively expanding their clothing inventory, now carrying a wide range of products from casual wear to innerwear, socks, and other everyday essentials. This trend is driven by growing consumer demand for convenience. Shoppers appreciate being able to purchase necessary clothing items while making their regular convenience store visits, without having to make a special trip to dedicated apparel retailers. For convenience store chains themselves, apparel sales represent an important pillar of business expansion that boosts average transaction values. However, intensified competition with existing clothing retailers is also expected. Going forward, attention is being paid to how far convenience stores will penetrate the apparel market and how the industry will evolve. U.S. Central Command announces additional strikes on Iran as prospects for resumed talks remain unclear. The U.S. Central Command, which oversees operations in the Middle East, announced on the 13th that it has conducted additional strikes against Iran. A cycle of mutual attacks between the United States and Iran continues amid disputes over navigation through the Strait of Hormuz. While the two nations remain in a state of tension, there are also indications of diplomatic efforts to resolve the dispute through dialogue. However, whether negotiations will actually resume remains uncertain. Experts point to the need to closely monitor the actions of both countries going forward, and international attention is growing toward stabilizing the region. Major earthquake in Venezuela. Full extent of damage still being assessed. The damage from a major earthquake that struck South America's Venezuela last month is proving to be severe. The confirmed death toll has exceeded 4,400 and continues to rise. Many people are believed to be trapped beneath collapsed buildings, and rescue operations are facing significant challenges. Assessing the full scope of the damage remains an outstanding issue. Some experts estimate that the extent of building destruction far exceeds official government figures. With Venezuela's economy already in dire straits, reconstruction will not be easy, making international aid an urgent priority. Going forward, accurately determining the damage situation and establishing a framework for international assistance are expected to be critical tasks ahead. Russia's military invasion of Ukraine continues. Updates from July 13. Russia's military invasion of Ukraine continues on July 13. Intense fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces is unfolding across multiple regions of Ukraine, with civilian casualties mounting. As the conflict escalates, many citizens are being forced to flee the country in search of safety. While the Ukrainian government is doing everything it can to protect its people and defend its territory, diplomatic efforts surrounding international support for Ukraine are intensifying. Given the serious nature of the situation in Ukraine, countries around the world are hastening their response, considering measures such as expanding humanitarian aid and strengthening sanctions against Russia. U.S. military continues attacks on Iran, claims Strait of Hormuz remains open. The U.S. Central Command announced on the 12th that it has continued its attacks on Iran. Earlier that day, the U.S. military claimed the Strait of Hormuz remains open, denying Iran's assertion that transit through the waterway involves surveillance and tracking by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC. This came after Iran announced it had attacked a U.S. military base in Jordan. Central Command stated, at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the 12th, Japan time 6 a.m. On the 13th, we launched additional attacks against Iran, which continues to obstruct the free passage of civilian sailors and commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. The commander-in-chief of all forces has ordered these strikes to hold Iran's military accountable. Earlier, Central Command denied Iran's claims, stating, while the IRGC commander said on state media that foreign vessels transiting the Strait of Hormuz require identification, tracking, and surveillance by Iranian forces, we reject this assertion. Iran does not control the Strait of Hormuz. The waterway remains an international passage. Regarding the U.S. attacks, Iran's IRNA news agency reported on the afternoon of the 12th that the enemy fired missiles at Qeshm Island. Qeshm Island is a strategic location in the Persian Gulf and hosts an important IRGC base. The escalation between the two countries began after Iran attacked commercial vessels transiting the strait on the 6th and 7th. Iran claims it targeted commercial ships using routes it had not approved. Iran is seeking to establish control over the Strait of Hormuz, and announced early on the 12th that it would temporarily close the waterway until American intervention in the region ends. UK heatwave. Research team estimates over 2,700 deaths possible from extreme heat in May and June. By Michelle Roberts, digital health editor, and Matt McGrath, environment correspondent. More than 2,700 people may have died from heat-related illness during the extreme heat wave that struck Britain in May and June. A research team from Imperial College London, the UK Met Office, and the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine released the estimate on the 13th, based on established knowledge about the dangers of extreme heat. According to the research team, the majority of deaths were caused by the heat wave in June. The heat wave resulted in England experiencing its hottest June on record, with temperatures reaching 37.7 degrees Celsius in Lingwood, Norfolk, far surpassing the previous record high of 35.6 degrees recorded in 1957. During the June heat wave, a rare, red alert, signifying unprecedented extreme heat warnings, was issued in parts of England and Wales, with authorities warning that there was serious danger to life even for healthy people. Meanwhile, a temperature of 35.1 degrees was recorded at Kew Gardens near London on May 26, setting a new UK record for the highest May temperature. The previous record was 32.8 degrees, recorded in both 1922 and 1944, which this year far exceeded. According to experts, the successive heat waves were all caused by a heat dome, a phenomenon in which a high-pressure system becomes stationary, trapping hot air in a region.